week of Aussie Tech Heads. How you all going? It is the week of the 18th of February. That's when we record. Anyway, it is a Thursday, and you can join us live at aussietechheads.com.au/live from around 7:30 each Thursday night. Maybe we change it to 7 p.m. Queensland. Who knows? I don't know, but we'll see how we go. All right, now don't forget the AussieTechRadio.com. You can tune into that on the TuneIn Radio app. Now that is on iOS, that is on Android and Windows 10, and it is so easy. You just tune that up, load it up, and start searching Aussie Tech Radio, and there it is. It'll just come up straight away. The easiest way to get to it. I've had people talking to me about they can't do it with the playlists and the Winamp and the blah, blah, blah. So tune in radio. That's the go. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube at those respective domains /Aussie Tech Heads, and also the podcast webpage is at aussietechheads.com.au/podcast. And follow us at Aussie Tech Heads and on Twitter and Aussie Tech News. All right. Now, let's get around the grounds and see who we've got in here this week. Let's go, first of all, to WA, where the sun is still shining. Hi, Shane.
Hey, Glenn. Hey, guys. How are we?
Good, good. What have you been doing?
Not a lot. Still just sort of, kicking back at home and, getting my legs sorted and still looking for work. But other than that, same dog, different leg.
Cool. All right. And Eric, how you going?
Gentlemen, William, how are you? And Glenn, of course.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Now, as Eric has just said, by popular demand, we have managed and requested by Mario, where is Will? Get him back. We do have Will. Hi, Will.
Hey, mate. How you doing?
Good. What have you been up to? Haven't seen you since you said, "Oh yeah, I'll be here every week."
Yeah. Well, I don't think I ever said that. I said I won't be here every week. You weren't listening.
No, I think Will's right. He said he doubts he'll be here every week.
Oh, was it? I might have misheard. I have to replay
His doubts were fulfilled.
Yeah, that's right.
So how is everything, Will? How's little Bubba?
Yeah, he's doing well. That's the main reason I'm not here, because he basically between 8 and 9 almost every night, you can guarantee he wants his bath and shit,
Yep.
ready for bed and stuff like that. Can't say I blame him, but it's kind of a routine we got into. So now, if we go at 7, I might be able to sneak in for a little while before he gets hungry.
That's right. Yes, the dad's job is never done, is it? It's hard work. It is hard work.
He's doing well.
Yeah, that's excellent. All right, so we are a podcast that will bring you all the tech news, get you up to date. Tech news that interested us throughout this week anyway, and pretty much by the time all three of us get through what we want to give you, you'll be right up to date. Anything that's not on this show is not worth knowing, let me tell you.
Sometimes I say random words too.
Yeah. Like, get me out of here. All right.
Yep. Well, good to see I haven't missed much.
Haven't missed much at all, Will. It's just like fitting back into an old stinky glove, isn't it? Or an old stinky sock. Yeah. That's right.
I don't want to know what you do with yourself.
Oh no. Okay. Now, look, we had a story sent to us from Brent from No Fixed Address on Facebook. And look, it was a rather big story. It was the Telstra Sunday free data day. Now, yes, that came and went. So I hope you guys, use all your data. Will, how's that phone going of yours?
It's still going.
You're kidding, without getting charged.
I thought after Sunday they were going to, when they flipped the switch over, I thought I'd reset it, but they didn't.
You're kidding. So you're just chewing through whatever you want.
You know what the real story is? That Will's been getting 425 gigs every Sunday for the last year.
That's right.
That's the real story.
I don't know.
It actually turns out I'm not alone. I have since spoken to a few other people who are having the same issues, apparently.
Yeah, right.
Well, I hope no one from Telstra listens to this podcast, but I've got a little secret as well.
Oh, I'm the only one without one. Have you got a secret, Shane? Telstra secret?
No, and you think actually me having worked there, I'd have a couple, but no, I don't.
Well, my secret is that on my cable here at home, you sign up for the gigabyte limit or whatever per month.
Yeah.
Right? Mine's unmetered.
Oh, nice.
Completely.
Yeah, right. That's all right.
Completely. Doesn't matter how much I use, it just keeps ticking over.
That's what my phone says.
You know what? Actually, you know how I know that? Because I look at my usage, and at the end of every month, and I know I go through heaps. I've got 3 kids here who are YouTube and their heads off or watching Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
At the end of the month, usage, 0.
Yep.
Oh, nice work.
I actually had a customer come in the other day buying a new battery for his NBN backup already, believe it or not. They're quality products. Those they put a 6 month warranty on them for a reason. And actually, that's another thing. But I'll get back to this. He was coming the other day saying, yeah, he has a package with Telstra, and same thing. He's on a 30 gig a month or whatever it is, their base package, and yeah, it's never been metered either.
Yeah, they're good. I love Telstra. Love Telstra.
Well, the last reward I got out of Telstra was when I had to scream into the earpiece of the phone to make free calls.
Well, I also get a good deal from Optus because we're no longer with them for internet, because I use Exetel because I do pay by the month. But Optus ages ago, for some bizarre reason, sent me 2 set-top boxes. So they had
One for each eye.
They had one that I commissioned and was using with Fetch TV, and then they sent me another one that was still in the box. So after I cancelled my contract, they requested a set-top box back. So I'll have it in the box. I'll send it back to you.
Yeah.
Well, that was 4 months ago, and my Fetch is still working.
Nice.
I love technology.
Yeah, no one knows how to use it, do they?
That's the brilliant part about it.
That's right.
We know how to abuse it, but no one knows how to use it.
That's it.
Well, it's funny. When speaking of this Telstra unmetered thing, there's a couple of very interesting things. I don't know what. Well, okay, you want to do the story first, and then we'll talk about it.
All right. Well, so the story is, we all know from last week's show that Telstra was giving away that free data Sunday because they had someone pulled the plug and all the phones went
Quite
dead.
Literally.
Apparently.
That's basically what happened. They pretty much unplugged the main router.
Yeah, pretty much. And so anyway, this story is there's free data Sunday. Now, one customer has, this is how much people have taken advantage of it. One customer has chewed through 425 gig of data.
In a day.
Smashed it. The amount used, right, so they've sort of put it into a bit of comparison, or whatever. So the amount used is more than enough to download 5 seasons of Game of Thrones. I don't know what Game of Thrones gets used in every analogy, doesn't it?
Because it's the most pirated one.
Right, okay. Well, he could have done it on iTunes. But anyway, 5 seasons of Game of Thrones in high definition 4 times over. So 5 seasons, 4 times over. That's how much he could have done. The data-hungry customer, they've named him, Johnny.
Johnny Data.
Johnny Data Rhodes in Sydney told the Sydney Morning Herald he downloaded... boring old Johnny. He downloaded all 25 seasons of the Discovery Channel. How is it made?
No, I bet you didn't. He's just using that because
I think Johnny needs to get it.
No, you can just legitimately download that. That's all.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think Johnny needs to get out more.
Johnny needs to find out how life's made. And he synced his entire Stream computer game library. Steam game library.
Now, I'll tell you, that's not a small... Because I've got probably a dozen games on Steam, and there would be...
They're a lot. That's a lot of gigabytes.
80 or 90 gigs just there.
Yeah, so 170...
They're big. Yeah, 5 to 6 gigs per game.
Yeah, 172 games in total he had. Now,
wow. Holy crap.
to a portable hard drive. So, yeah, good
I think Johnny needs to get out more. He's spending too much time in front of the TV and 172 computer games.
Although, you read into how he did it, he actually had his phone and his girlfriend's phone, because apparently he has one.
He's got a girlfriend? How does that work?
Apparently. Tethered via a Wi-Fi hotspot, so he actually had 2 phones going double duty to download all this.
So, by midnight Sunday, customers had downloaded 1,841 terabytes. So that's what equivalent of, say, your hard drive in your computer. Most people got 2 terabytes. The data usage was the equivalent of around 2.3 million movies or 5.1 million episodes of Game of Thrones. Again, Game of Thrones. Or 23 million downloads of Kanye's new Life of Pablo album.
Oh, that's a whole other thing.
Yes, we've got
another thing. No one's going to download that. No one.
But
he's an idiot.
What I find interesting about this, and I mean, it's great for people who had ADSL 1 or 2 or whatever. The few things that stand out in my mind about this is the high demand, apparently, which I would expect people would go on ape shit over the option to have unlimited data, but apparently they only experienced twice of their regular data usage.
Yeah,
which is odd. The other thing I found that's interesting is that there was minimal network slowdown, which was quite surprising. But the other thing is
they've got heaps of backhaul, Telstra.
They do. But the other thing I found interesting is that they voluntarily gave away unlimited data to everybody in the country for 24 hours. And at no point anywhere in there did they mention anything about it's going to cost them a cent to do such a thing.
No. Well, why would it?
They're not going to say, hey, this is going to be a detriment to us, but we're going to do it to help you out. They're like, nah, we screwed up. The screw-up's going to cost us far more than giving you guys free data for the day. So here's the thing I have about this. Why are you so damn expensive with your 4G normally?
Yeah, because once they've got the
infrastructure's in place, it no longer costs you anything other than
you
maintenance.
just answered your own question. Their infrastructure is the best. That is why.
No, they still have to pay for hiring the bloody pipes, but the intercontinental pipes and that kind of stuff.
It's very minimal compared to what we're being charged at an inflated price.
Yeah, we get charged a lot because it's the best service. You're going to pay more for a Rolls Royce than you are a Holden, and Optus is Holden.
Yeah, look, I'm pretty.
But is it a premium service if it's a rip-off? There's a difference between buying a Bentley and buying a Holden Capri. But the thing is, when you actually pay more for the Bentley, you get a better car. Whereas
Telstra, I think you do get a better service with Telstra. Well, in Sydney you do anyway.
But it's not 5 times better than the nearest competition, which is 5 times the price. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. You been down to Sydney lately?
Well, my brother went to he signed up with. I think he said he signed up with Vodafone because they had the pretty cheap plans. He's down there at good old sunny Kingscliff, northern New South Wales. He signed up and he's happy as Larry. He went for a ride up to the sunny coast. He said his phone just didn't work at all.
Really?
Yeah. So I said, what's going on there?
You know what I find in Queensland? Optus works best in Queensland.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and northern New South Wales.
And northern New South Wales and up.
Yeah.
Vodafone works really only, if you get past Port Macquarie, you'd be lucky.
Yeah.
And Telstra works everywhere, but Optus doesn't work in Sydney at all. It's terrible. I don't know what it is. It's hopeless, mate.
Telstra's got jammers around the place.
They must have jammers, yeah.
It's weird because Optus has a more consistent signal. Telstra works really well in a lot of hotspot places, but it's not consistent. If you drive around from one street to the next, you'll go from 1 bar to 4 bars to 1 bar to 4 bars.
Yeah.
Optus is very stable, and the speeds aren't that much different to Telstra on the mobile. You do notice that you go to somewhere like Gympie, who Optus is unusable. Telstra is unusable. It's just so bad. You'll get 4 bars of signal and you can't make a phone call. Whereas Optus, you'll get 2 bars of signal, but it's consistently 2 bars and it works. So,
never go to Gympie then.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to go there generally anyway. But my point is that I don't know. What I'm saying is the infrastructure's in place, the backhaul's there, the contract's already signed, the contract's already been paid for.
Yeah, it's not costing that much.
What they're offering. And for what they're charging, is it really, given that we're paying in the world, we're one of the dearest, we are. Prices
that's true, but it is also supply and demand as well. If they drop their prices, everyone would jump on it, and you know what that would mean. It means that the plate it'd get clogged.
Look, it's like now
if we had 3 providers that gave equivalent service to Telstra, then you could spread the wealth, you could spread the happiness, because it'd be based on price alone, and it wouldn't matter. But if Telstra's way above Optus and Vodafone, in Sydney, I'm only talking Sydney here, and they lowered their prices, then everyone would jump onto Telstra, and then that would clog the Telstra networks up, and then it would be like Optus.
But that's what I'm saying. Like according to this, they had double their usual traffic, and it basically had very minimal impact on the network. So they can afford to double their client base, which is basically taking everybody.
Well, if they want, at that sense, if they did that, yes, they could pretty much double their client base, still make money, and not have an effect.
That's what I mean. Like it doesn't make sense the way they're doing it now. That's what I just find the weird part about it. Having said that, they're obviously making enough money to give away free data. So there you go.
Well, I would analogize it to so I invite the street into my swimming pool now for one day. It doesn't cost me anything. But the next day, or at the end of the week, it costs me the normal costs to keep that maintained. But for that one day, it doesn't cost me as much.
Yeah.
All right, let's...
Well, it might cost you a little bit more when they leave.
Yeah.
Because there's always there's always a Chiquito bar in there. You got to fix that up.
Poly waffle.
Call him,
The purple liquid.
Yes.
call him Foley, he'll fix it.
Was that a true thing? They used to have that liquid, didn't they?
They still do.
Do they?
No, it's not a real thing.
I'm always scared when I go into a pool. That's
Just stop
You
peeing in the pool.
You know what a good way to actually get a pool to yourself is you go to a public pool and you get a gel cap like a sinus capsule or a Panadol or whatever. You open it up and you put blue or green food colouring in it and you close it up. Throw it in your Speedos before you jump in the pool. And after about 2 minutes in the pool, the gel cap dissolves. And it's green.
You've done this, Will?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Well, what about you get the same thing, but you go into the chain sheds and put it in someone else's pockets.
You guys remember seeing, it was a YouTube video a couple of years ago, and I think it was a resort pool, and they had like a lifeguard there, and the lifeguard made an announcement, that the pool's going to be shut for 10 minutes, so everyone has to kind of get out while I'm not here. Everyone gets out. He walks in. Unanswered, he says, I'm going to the loo. I'll be back in 5 minutes, but the pool has to shut down because I'm not here looking at everyone. And then when everyone's out of the pool, he gets in, stands there for a bit, and then walks back out again.
Yeah, that was what's his name? Green. Oh no, what was the guy's name in Austin Powers who played his son? He also plays
Rob
Stewie.
Lowe.
No.
Don't know.
Not Stewie. What's his name in the Family Guy as well?
Seth Green.
Seth. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was him. He did that.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, let's get on to something more serious because this is probably going to have a couple of comments about it. Shane, you go and can you do your Apple story there, please?
Yep, no problem. Let me just move that out of the way so I can read. All right. So basically, what this is there's a whole bunch of stories around about the same thing. Apple and the FBI are basically going hammer and tong at each other, where the FBI have gone through all the legal channels to try and get Apple to assist them with actually breaking into a guy's phone. Turns out that one of the guys that were involved in the shooting in the San Bernardino shooting a couple of months ago now, they seized his phone and it had a passcode on it. So they approached Apple through all the legal channels to try and get them to help them out. What the FBI actually want, and this is kind of where some of the misconceptions is come in, they don't necessarily want a tool to break into the phone or a back door or anything.
Thanks, they've already got one of those.
They essentially want Apple to make another operating system entirely, so that they can load that on the phone, which obviously still protects the guy's data, same as a normal kind of operating system upgrade, that they can then get into the actual phone with. Now, technically that can be done apparently because the guy's only got the 5C phone. If he had the 6 or later, then it can be a problem because of the whole fingerprint reading and how the kind of security works. But Apple have kind of dug the heels in and said, no, we're not doing it. They've gone and appealed the decision, and that hasn't kind of come out anymore. But the thing that I kind of found a bit weird about the whole thing is that and I'm trying to find my notes here, the legal basis for requesting the assistance in the first place is based on an act called the All Writs Act of 1789. So, they're using the FBI are using an act that's 200 years old or more than 200 years, only 230 years old.
Captain Phillip had only just landed.
Yeah, exactly. And then the article goes on to sort of explain the ramifications of it. If Apple kind of did do this, then what does that mean for Android people? And if it happens again and it's an Android phone rather than an iPhone being used.
I had a slightly different take, I suppose, or an alternative view on this sort of thing. And my view is like, doesn't the FBI have any clout? Don't they operate under a sheet of secrecy anymore and all this sort of stuff?
No, they're the agencies without any names. If you've got a name, you're within the law. If you don't have a name, you can do what you like.
But what I'm saying is, couldn't some guy, I don't know, a J. Edgar Hoover of today, go in, Tim Cook sitting down and saying, "Now listen, Tim, this is what we're facing. We need this and we need this and this blah 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 blah."
Not in America, you won't.
Now,
civil rights,
just keep it
privacy is a big deal.
But keep it under your hat. We don't want to make a big deal of this because we also want to, get the terrorist phones and blah 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 blah. We don't want the world to know what we're doing. Why doesn't it work like that? It's ridiculous.
Well, another point I wanted to make out of the story was that they used an analog analogy about if they have a warrant to search a house and that house has got a safe in it, that warrant doesn't necessarily cover opening the safe. They can't go to the safe manufacturer and say, "Can you create a master key and open this safe for us?" because the warrant doesn't cover that. So Apple are basically saying you might have a warrant to search the phone, but that doesn't necessarily give you the right to get past the safe or the security, security aspects of the phone.
I reckon it's all bull.
Sorry,
pretty weak argument by Apple.
Everything to do with basically what it is. The FBI's already got into it. They've already got the pictures off it, and the only thing they need to try and do is find a legit excuse and how they can use them legally. Because I can guarantee you the third result in Google on how to unlock a locked iPhone 5C. It's a 15-second bypass.
Right.
And it takes 15 seconds and it involves using Siri. So, I'm sorry, but it's all a load of crap. What it is, basically, it's just a masquerade at this point. They're trying to find a way to legally use these photos they already have. And if they can't do it this way, they'll simply do it another way. There's no skin off their back. They're just trying to make it public and trying to make it seem like they're doing the right thing. Any half-assed hacker who's even pretends to know what he's doing can get into an iPhone, an Android phone. And if you have physical access to a device, you have full access to a device. That's all there is to it. There is no way to lock anybody out of anything.
Will, let me get this straight. So you're saying that they may already have what they need, but
yeah, I can guarantee it.
If they were given the go-ahead to, in inverted commas, unlock the phone.
Yep.
It gives them
free reign.
It gives them what's the word I'm looking for? It gives them just cause. They're saying, "Oh, we found these photos because we got the code from Apple, and look what we found." But you're saying they already have it, but without the go-ahead from Apple, they can't use the photos.
That's right,
because they weren't given the go-ahead.
And you mentioned exactly the same thing with the safe. the argument used to be you can enter a house, search a house. If they've got a locked door in the house or they've got a safe in the house, you then need to execute a separate search warrant to try and get permission to that. And that comes down to the particular judge whether or not they allocate it, blah blah blah, because that's a privacy. That's not. I guess what you could effectively call one public domain and one private. Anybody can walk into your house and wander around, and they can pick up your lamps and your beer bottles and whatever, and it's not a problem. They can't get into your safe, and the search warrant sort of acts the same way. And it's the same deal with the phone. If the phone was unlocked and they already had access to it, then that's fine. If they've got to physically hack the phone, which I guarantee it took them 10 seconds to do it, they've got into it, they've got all the photos, they've gone, okay, we've have the photos. It's like a cop walking into your house to borrow your toilet and they happen to stumble over a bloody murder weapon. Technically, they can't actually take that and collect it as evidence because they don't have permission to do that. If they do, then it can be thrown out of court.
Well, they want the warrant.
Yeah. And I can guarantee it's exactly the same.
Like they did with Margaret Caneen down here. They hacked into her phone and then they applied for a warrant to search her phone when they'd already hacked it.
Yep.
And they got busted for that. Anyway, look, here's another turn on this. I've been looking at this not too deeply. And I'll just read some comments from Tim Cook, and then I'll read some comments from a couple of commentators, and you just make your mind up. In a strongly worded letter to customers, Mr. Cook called the order an unprecedented step which threatens the security of our customers with implications, blah, blah, blah. And he said, Apple had said it incorporated with the FBI during the investigation complying with valid search warrants and subpoenas. Now, what they classify as valid is obviously not valid enough for the FBI. Apple said the government now effectively wants it to create a new version of its iPhone software that bypasses important security measures. I'm not quite sure that's what they want them to do. But if it is, I can understand their reluctance to hand it over because then they'll say, right, we've got this software now. We don't want to give it back. We'll take a copy. We'll tell them we destroyed it. And then they can access anyone's phone.
That's right.
So if that's what they're on about, then it's a bit sneaky, but I'm not sure if that's what they're on about or is Cookie Monster exaggerating. and being a bit over dramatic.
They just don't want the exploits they currently have to be known. That's all it is. Because if they suddenly go, oh yeah, look, all you need is this particular bit of software you can get into the phone, then everyone's going to go, well, okay, how long have you been doing that?
Well, I'll read you something then. The Justice Department has sought orders under the All Writs Act compelling Apple's assistance in bypassing phone security, in at least 5 known cases. Apple lawyers say, I got this from the Wall Street Journal, in case you have. Apple lawyers say the company had complied with all Writs Act orders in the past without taking a position of their legality. So why the big deal now?
Wow.
That's the question.
Because it's been made public.
That's the thing
now.
that's come. Well, Apple's the one that made it public.
So
the order came down from the judge, and it wasn't made public by the judge or the FBI. Apple then wrote a letter saying, "Oh, the judge wants us to do this." Now, these orders. Sorry, mate. These orders were the first order that Apple complied with was in 2008 to help catch sex offenders, and they complied with it, right?
Yeah.
So now, Steve Jobs was the CEO then. Tim Cook is the CEO now. We never heard about the All Writs Acts in the previous years of the 5 that they've already complied with in prior years. No one made it public. The FBI didn't make it public. The courts and the judge in the past didn't make it public.
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden is it public now? It wasn't the FBI that put a media release out. It wasn't the judge. It was Tim Cook.
Yep.
But don't you think
what's he trying to do? Is he trying to make himself out to be some sort of hero? Like,
Nope.
Look at me, I defied the FBI.
Yep, pretty much. It's the right time. It's basically the right time, and they're trying to say, look, we know that we're in tapping you when we have iTunes. We know that there's backdoors into our products, but look, we're perfectly safe, and we're not even going to give FBI the way in. Yeah. That's basically what it comes down to. Because
their problem is this: they will be told to hand this over. They won't. I don't think the judge will say write a different version of your software just for us. No. I think no judge will be that crazy, but I think they will say no. You're going to unlock it with this current software you've got now. We don't want anything that you don't. We don't want anything to do.
No,
and I'll tell you why. I bet you it will because they've set a precedent. They've set very strong precedents, and no judge in the land is going to go against that. And Tim Cook has just made a complete fool of himself once again. I hate
the reason the FBI want to do it the way they want to do it with separate bit of software, I'm guessing, is because if the judge goes, here, Apple, unlock this phone, Apple will go, hey, hang on a minute, somebody's already done it.
Possibly, they might catch them.
Yeah,
say,
I bet you that's because that's the only reason they would say that they wanted an actual separate bit of software.
Then you just lock it. Before you hand it over, you just lock the phone.
Yeah.
But look, it'll be in a log file or something that already been hacked. But my question is if they're worried, if Apple are worried about the software getting out, why can't Apple be the ones that physically unlock the phone and then just give the content to the FBI?
That's right. Yeah, have it supervised in a room with everyone with white gloves on and whatever, and have the FBI stand there and get a few engineers from Apple go, we're going to do it, and we're going to print everything analog, and then we're going away and we're going to destroy the software.
I wonder if it's the other way. I wonder if it's because Apple. I wonder if it's because in this case they had already had the photos, and Apple knows they've already got them, and they're like, well, hang on a minute, you're just trying to use us to bypass a loophole in the law.
Well, I don't know. Well, whatever it is that they're arguing about.
Not that I'm defending Apple. Don't get me wrong.
No, I agree with you. No, you're just. I know what you're saying. You've got to ask these questions. That's fair enough.
So there's something non-kosher about this entire situation.
Maybe. However, my biggest point is why was it made public?
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just discuss it behind closed doors?
Yeah.
There was time.
Why does Tim Cook have to write a big one-page freaking thing on the front page of the Apple website? Steve Jobs wouldn't have done that.
There's a reason for it. Whether or not we understand it at this juncture, there's definitely a reason. I mean, it's not something you would do without a reason behind it. It doesn't make sense.
I'll tell you the reason for it. Tim Cook is a very bad manager. He's a reactionary. He's a very reactionary.
He's bought out 12
manager.
phones that are exactly the same and expected people to buy them. I mean, come on, how bright can he be?
He wants to go into China and all that sort of stuff. So he's got to keep up a certain level of appearance.
But he's reactionary. This sort of stuff. If you don't want people to think that you're one way or another, and you want your public image to remain as good as it currently is. Well, actually, I think it's actually diminished since he took over. Even though Steve Jobs was a more arrogant person, a tougher boss to work with, and some would say a complete you-know-what. But as far as being a visionary and be able to run a company, Steve Jobs was much better.
You're going to say country then.
I thought,
yes,
look,
close enough.
I just don't think, like, from what I know, like, obviously I know more about Steve Jobs' history than I do of Tim Cook's history. And from what I would say, say on the surface, it would appear to me that maybe Jobsy was a bit more patriotic, a bit more USA than what
Possibly.
Tim Cook is. And
possibly,
Tim.
Look, there's obviously a combination of factors here. What you said is possibly true. What Will said is possibly true. What I said is possibly true. But at the end of the day, whatever is true, it should not have been made public. That's what I'm saying. I think he's a very bad manager who's reactionary, and he's going, all right, I'm going to get all bloody, I'm going to get all indignant, I'll show the FBI.
Very bad man.
You killed.
Very
just
bad
ring the CIA and say, can you knock off Timmy?
All right.
It's not the first time he's done that either,
with them.
There's been times before where that's happened. Like, there's been not much said about anything, then the next thing you know, it's all over the news. Like, it's not that unusual for him to do that.
Well, maybe
Steve Jobs was big on secrets and privacy. Steve Jobs was big on not washing out your dirty laundry.
The classic example is there wasn't a single leak on any iProduct while Jobs was in charge. As soon as he went away, every phone ever since has been leaked before it came out.
As soon as he was started getting sick and started taking leave, you pretty much knew the colour and the size of the phone.
That's right.
But Jobsy was very, don't air your dirty laundry in public. He was very much, if I'm going to have a fight with my wife, I'm not doing it at the restaurant table where other people are watching. Whereas I think Tim Cook's the opposite.
All right, now let's move on to something else.
That's my rant on Cookie Monster. I've made a promise to myself this week: one rant a week for the next year over Cookie Monster until he resigns.
Okay. I have a feeling that we should have used the word allegedly a few times in that segment.
No, that's just a given. We're not America. We don't need to do that. Our opinion's valid here. We don't need to put allegedly in front of it.
This whole show's alleged.
We can use other words other than alleged. We did use the words maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Who knows?
Yeah, we missed our full disclosure there somewhere too. I'm sure we had to put that in there as well somewhere.
Now, I'll tell you someone that hasn't got full disclosure: ransomware. But they are getting better. Their customer service is getting better. According to a report from Bleeping Computer, PadCrypt, that's the latest buzz in the ransomware going around, and they're the first ransomware to offer a live support chat feature. Yeah. And the chat feature is for victims seeking online assistance with paying their ransom and decrypting locked files. Well, there you go. Hey, I've got a little.
Isn't it great when an illegal industry becomes so prosperous that you can open your own call center?
Yeah, don't you love it? It's like it's like organised crime going legit.
Yeah, I know. Right? It's like the mafia just opening the local pizza shop. Like it's.
Yeah, it's like your local thief just open up a chat saying, "Now, what's yours and how much do you want? How much are you going to give to me to get it back?"
The local cat burglar opens up
a pawn shop. All the stuff he nicked.
That's right. Now, PadCrypt is the first ransomware program to provide victims with the software uninstaller, which is downloaded along with the malicious encryption code at the time of the infection. The PadCrypt is distributed via spam that contains a link to an archive that contains what appears to be a PDF file. But we've been through all this before. Just don't open stuff.
I've been getting a heap of zip files lately.
Yeah, just don't open stuff. Then further on with that, just rolling straight on, Hollywood Presbyterian Medical Center has just paid $17,000 to remove ransomware.
Oh, they get out of it lightly.
Yeah, the medical
center. It's a
center,
tax deduction anyway. They don't care.
Well, no, still, they've been dealing with a ransomware infection for the last few days. Apparently, they're checking backups and all this sort of stuff, and they said they're paying the ransomware as the easy way out. And in total, the hospital paid 40 bitcoins. That was around $17,000 to anonymous hackers. Yeah, settlement.
They've gone down. Wow.
Yeah, CEO
Bitcoin's tanked.
CEO Alan Stefanik said was the quickest and most efficient way to restore our systems and administrative functions.
Idiots.
Speaking of viruses and Trojans and stuff, if you've got yourself a iPhone, which I know a few of you guys do, do yourself a favour if you want to go for the classic Mac difference that was January 1st, 1970, when the Macintosh introduced the world to computers, which is wrong, but that's what it says. But you set your phone date to the January 1st, 1970. You restart the phone, you get a lovely Apple logo, and then from that point on, your phone's not usable anymore.
No, it's only 64.
Just go to the court and get the All Writs Act to open it up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And there's a hot off the press. There's a little old lady in trouble. Yeah, where's my little story about her?
Simon, are you in trouble?
No, old lady. Great grandmother. You're lucky she can't hear what I'm saying. Here she is, poor old love. There she is. So the great grandmother, she's been accused and has been demanded she pay. She's in England, £600 because she pirated and shared Robert Redford film. Poor love.
What? That must be Robert Redford's own request. He'd be the only body who'd be checking for that.
Her daughter-in-law said the claims were absurd and that the Mrs. Drew, the lady, did not know how to file share. It stated...
That's right, but she's about the same age as Robbie Redford.
Yeah. She said, I'm upset to have been accused of something I didn't do. How many other people has this happened to?
Well,
someone's hacked into her Wi-Fi, you think?
Or just use the default password.
Yeah, admin and password.
Yeah. Actually, Shane, you got something about admin password, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, I've got two kind of hacking type stories. I've got the DVR one, and I've got the Ringo Starr one. Which one are you referring to?
DVR.
Okay. Do you want me? Is that a hint for me to go into the story?
Yeah, because that rolls on from what we're talking. What Eric
tell you
just
what interesting
commented
too.
on.
While you're finding that, just quickly, they've just updated the list of the 10,000 most used commonly passwords because you need 10,000. But give you an idea, the top 10 quickly. Still number 1, password.
Yeah,
and then number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 3 is much more creative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 4 is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ironically, number 5 is QWERTY. Number 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 7 is Dragon. Number 8 is Pussy. Number 9 is baseball. Number 10 is football. Right. And then you got like Let Me In and Monkey and stuff like that. But it's interesting that the top 10 passwords have been the top 10 for about the last 20 years.
Yeah, people just don't like change, do they?
Probably still by the same people.
Yeah, probably. Let's interview the same people every year.
Yes. Have you changed it yet?
Are you going to change it? No. Yeah, all right. So talking about default passwords, admin and password, tell us about the DVR.
Alrighty. So, yeah, this is a story where it was discovered that hard-coded password exposes up to 46,000 video surveillance DVRs to hacking. Oh, okay. According to Risk-Based Security, RBS, all the devices accept a hard-coded, unchangeable password for the highest privileged user in their software, so the root password. According to their investigation, they looked through the web-based scripts that basically run the software, because all this DVR type software is all web-based, or at least the more current stuff is. And according to their investigation, there was hard-coded passwords with the ID of root, and the password was 519070. There was, what else did I want to kind of highlight of this? The company behind the actual DVRs is a company called Zhuhai Raysharp Technology, a Chinese manufacturer of video surveillance systems, including cameras and accompanying DVRs. Like I said, they were the company behind it. And the worrying thing is that that particular manufacturer, their equipment gets rebranded to other known brands that include Kong, Cop USA, K-Guard Security, Defender, which is rebranded as a brand of Circus World Displays, Lorex Technology, a division of FLIR or FLIR, and then the one that I wanted to leave to last, which potentially could affect us is Swan Communications, which is one of the bigger known kind of DVRs that gets sold in Australia.
Yep, it is. Now, I've known about this for hopefully at least 5 years because I used to install these. And it was something we were just told not to mention because everything is. And not only are those companies affected by this, it's also one of the most ripped off Chinese DVRs as well. So not only is the company who makes these making that, the companies that rip off these and the rip-offs of the rip-offs are using exactly the same ones. So there's far more than they say over 60,000, but there's got to be hundreds of thousands of these things. Every mum and dad grocer, every place you look at just about is affected with these. The actual firmware, the hard-coded firmware in the DVR itself, regardless whether it's a 1-channel or a 10-channel, basically hasn't changed in have to be at least 6 or 8 years that I'm aware of. There's been a few updates and bits and pieces like that, but the actual underlying structure of it hasn't changed. I used to install these things in everything from travel agents to TAFEs to universities to schools to even not so much banks, but like what do you call it? Like cash converters have got their cash exchange and stuff like that. And every single one of them was exactly the same. There is actually a way to disable that user, but only if you actually know about the thing in the first place, which the systems we installed, we actually disabled that user. But as soon as somebody does a factory reset, which is just a little push button in the back of it, it re-enables it again anyway.
Yeah. Now, look, on the screen, you guys can't see, but on the screen here, there's plenty of sites out there that go around searching for open cameras. And so we're just watching one now. There's actually some really neat... A lot of the ones you buy now actually have the option to say, post my video on X site. So a lot of them actually enable you to have a free... Like you wouldn't put, say, one over the top of your cash register, but if you've got one looking at your window, you'd enable that. So we're just looking at now. It's an auto motor car workshop. So some guy's standing under his car. This is the camera I've plucked out of the UK. You can find some of these cameras at www.insecam.org. Insecam. INSECAM. It's in the show notes anyway. But yeah, so that's that's quite amazing. There's cameras from all over the world. You can also, if you're not sure about the website, just search Google for webcam, and people or fun or entertainment or something like that. I'm sure you'll find exactly what you're looking for.
I think I'll use all those three in a search term for those webcams. See
what happens there. Yeah.
The only other couple of points I wanted to make before we move on is that obviously this is only affecting DVRs that are internet facing, which obviously most of them would be because people want to access their stuff from outside of work. And Swan have indicated apparently that they're working on a patch to fix the problem. And another workaround is to put a VPN in place. So you make a VPN connection first into the organisation and then access the DVR software from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only available on the internet accessible ones, but it's only obviously accessible on those. But yeah, the fault's actually on any of them. So if you access it from the local network, you can still get into it. Yeah, so there's heaps out there. Swan has been saying for about, when was the last time I dealt with Swan? 2000?
The 4 years of surpluses that I announced today. That's
2010, something like that. They've been saying we're going to be designing our own systems and implementing our own firmware, and that was 6 years ago, so there's probably not a lot of hope for that.
All right, now let's see where else we've got.
Well, speaking of searching for entertainment and fun and people and webcam,
voyeuristic pastimes.
The UK government is introducing a robust age verification. So they had to use the word bust when they're talking about porn, didn't they? To all websites containing adult content has been labelled as a dangerous precedent and criticised as an impossible task. Basically, the US are proving, the UK are proving how much of prudes they really are, and they want a robust age verification control requiring a driver's license or a credit card or something to say I'm over 18. Because you can imagine the kid who's just flogged his parents' credit cards, gone to a random porn site that has no verification at all, and has just entered all the details of the credit card. That could not possibly go wrong at all.
No way.
There is no way that could be exploited.
This is well for the robust system.
Which works fine and dandy until nobody enters anything in the robots.txt and Google searches them all and archives them on their videos listing anyway.
Oh, Google loves it. Google loves it. Now, the researchers have broken the 1 terabyte per second speed barrier. Now,
not at my place, they haven't.
No, admittedly.
No, any in my place.
Admittedly, it's probably in the office conditions, and it's probably on a 5 meter.
It's probably in like a negative cable. 300 Kelvin room in a lead-lined environment with a Faraday cage wrapped around it up in the middle of space somewhere.
Oh, the old Faraday
they've done
cage. Yeah, is that a real thing? The Faraday cage?
Yeah, haven't you ever been on a Tesla coil in a Faraday cage?
No,
it's awesome. They've got these 4 big Tesla coils up around you, and you are the grounding point inside this Faraday cage, and all the lightning strikes come off the Tesla coil straight at you.
Yeah, right. Does it hurt?
No.
No, it doesn't.
Well, if you touch the Faraday cage, it probably would.
I looked into Tesla batteries this week. I heard on the radio, the free quote online. So I thought, yeah, why not? I'll bung me quote in. And look, it came back. For a 6 kilowatt battery, it was about $12,000.
Wow, I knew they inflated that.
Yeah,
Man.
took about $50 a week, something like that.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
they're only the 11 kilowatt system installed is going for 4.5 in the US
for the battery.
For the 11 kilowatt, that's the battery bank, the inverter, and the installation.
Well, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. All right,
it's just inflation. I'm pretty sure at work we can't actually buy them because we're not a registered solar installer. But I have seen pricing, and I'm fairly sure the 7 kilowatt system only costs about 4 to buy, 4.5 to buy. I mean, obviously they've got to have their install on that, but knowing what it costs to buy and knowing what they're selling it for and just ripping people off, given that people are trying to do it to save money, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. All right, just to finish off on the terabyte speed record. Now, researchers from the UCL Optical Networks Group said they had achieved a speed of 1.25 terabytes as part of the research on the capacity limits of optical transmission systems. So the research was designed to address the growing demand for fast data rates, and don't we all want fast data rates? Now, Dr. Robert Marr said while current state-of-the-art commercial optical transmission systems are capable of receiving single-channel data rates of up to 100 gigabits per second, we are working with sophisticated Faraday rooms, all that sort of stuff. So
Faraday cage, dumbass.
Yeah, rooms, cage, all the same thing.
You're going to have... You just lost every little bit of Greek cred that you had.
The only reason I've heard of a Faraday cage was there's one in the last series of Doctor Who.
Well, Faraday cage, you mean Faraday closet under the stairs?
Have you never seen the, what's it called? I was going to say The Magician, but it wasn't that. It had Nicolas Cage and that kid out of Transformers, and it was The Apprentice. The Magician's Apprentice or something.
Have not seen it.
He uses a Faraday cage in that. It's awesome.
Okay. Will, did you bring any stories, or you just...
I've had like 4. How many more do you want? Yes, I've got plenty more. An action will be filed with the Australian Federal Court as the first step in an intense new push to stamp out internet piracy of movies and TV. Just after they've increased the tax on them. Anyway, Graham Burke, co-chairman and CEO of Australian distributor and exhibitor Village Roadshow, so there's another company to boycott, is leading the charge with the support of the big US movie studios. What we're doing is leading a major thrust on behalf of the Australian industry. Are they doing porn again? If such action isn't taken, he added, there just won't be a creative Australia. There won't be a Red Dog. There won't be a Mad Max. Do they know that like Red Dog and Mad Max were founded on the basis of free and social? Anyway, enough of that. The legal action to force internet service providers to block a peer-to-peer downloading site. So... we know how much success, governments have blocking IP addresses.
Yeah.
So now they want to specifically block and target a peer-to-peer download. Would they even know how to do that?
No.
They
wouldn't.
No.
They wouldn't. And if they did, someone else will know how to get around it.
Mm.
Well, yeah, I mean...
You can't do that. Let's think of an analog analogy, right? Peer-to-peer means... effectively direct, right? From
you to me, yeah.
Me here to the bloke next door, okay? Yeah. So what's next? That I'm going to go, hey, Mary next door, I think her name's Mary, or Janice, whatever. or Joy. I think it's Joy. Hey,
Well,
Joy,
who
I'm coming around.
are you saying?
Hey, Joy, I'm going to come around to borrow that book that you were talking about, right? So I'm going to go over there. I want to borrow the book. Stopping peer-to-peer is like saying, no, you're not going next door. You cannot walk next door to borrow that book.
Yeah.
That's
look,
peer-to-peer.
Look, I was thinking...
Can't do that.
I was thinking today, just when I was thinking about, say, one of the next stories I'll bring up now that we're talking about this, is like, the old days you used to just, double tape cassette decks, used to just copy tapes and all this.
Which was also illegal.
Yeah, they didn't seem to be such a frenzy about it, about that. Or taping
maybe
stuff
they
off.
were, but we didn't really hear about it.
Yeah, but anyway, someone else that's not happy is good old Kanye.
I've just got to butt in for a sec. So I've got to go, guys, but it was great doing the show. And hopefully, if we can get these early time slots, then there'll be more of me. But thanks, guys. It was great.
Worries.
And,
Will, it's nice to see you, and I can do 8 o'clock if Glenn's willing.
Could you do me a favour before you go? Could you just leave everything on? Just put a blind over the camera or something so it doesn't stuff up my Skype.
For you, I can probably actually do that. I can turn my camera off and mute my microphone.
Okay, thanks.
No worries.
Okay, cheers. See you, Will.
Catch you later.
Bye.
All right, yeah, so Kanye West, his album's been pirated 500,000 times already, and it's been downloaded.
Is that according to him?
No.
If he's written that story, then it's all rubbish.
Yeah, according to Torrent Freak. So he released his Life of Pablo on Jay-Z's music streaming service Tidal. And apparently thousands of subscribers have complained that they've been unable to download it from Tidal. And they've paid for it.
You know why they're downloading it, don't you? Because they don't want to pay for it because it's rubbish.
Why would you? It is rubbish. They're just downloading it out of spite. I might do it later tonight, just out of spite. Just to give him one more.
So you can just delete it.
That's right. It is currently one of the most popular music downloads on the Pirate Bay. Now, RIAA Chief Executive, which would be the Records Industry Association of America, I'd imagine, called Carrie Sherman, wrote last year that the approach is increasingly ineffective. This is trying to stop it. The result is a never-ending game that is both costly and increasingly pointless. So, it's good. Well, they're starting to wake up. They've got to just think of different ways to do things. But anyway, moving on from Kanye, we'll staying with Kanye. Did you hear he's asked Mark Zuckerberg for $1 billion?
Yeah. Because he reckons he deserves it.
Yeah, like, turn it up. He
said I'm 50% more valuable than Picasso.
And this is from a guy...
Has this guy got an ego on him or something? Or one of those, or Leonardo da Vinci, one of those artists.
And this is from the person who wants the $1 billion because he's $54 million in debt. And there's apparently a tweet or something that went out and said, Zuckerberg, give me $1 billion, I'll show you how to double it. He can't even get himself out of a $54 million debt.
Yeah, your good track record.
Yeah.
Stop spending money on rubbish.
Yeah.
Stop tell your wife to get back her credit cards and stop using butt implants.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
Stop wasting your money on rubbish music. No one cares about the Kanye's and the Kardashians of this world. No one gives a rat's.
But you know when he did that song with Paul McCartney, there's a lot of Paul McCartney did some backing music or something. I wasn't actually involved in the singing, but anyway, so Kanye made a big bit of a deal of it on Twitter and says, so great to have Paul McCartney on the album and doing the music or the guitar or whatever. And
they probably never met.
Yeah, probably not. But Kanye's followers on Twitter, and they're all going, "Oh yeah, what a great start! You stick with him, Paul. He'll make you a star." They've never even heard of Paul McCartney.
God Almighty!
Yeah, they've never.
Apparently, that security guard of that nightclub hadn't heard of Paul McCartney. He wouldn't let him in.
That's right. It's crazy at the Grammys. But
look, let's move on. There are more important things to do. People are dying and haven't got anything to eat in this world. We're talking about idiot.
But just staying with Paul McCartney for a second, he is creating music for Skype emojis. So everyone knows what an emoji is. Well,
things must be tough.
Oh no, really, no. It doesn't have to be. He thought it'd be a bit of a, as he says, a bit of a gas, man. It's a gas. So Paul McCartney's composed music for a series of audio emojis on Skype to celebrate Valentine's Day. So I didn't see him. The compositions, which are coupled with the moving emoji designs, last just 5 seconds and be sent to friends over the messaging platform. Now, the musicians, Paul McCartney said he had first considered the project a strange proposition, but then changed his mind. I thought, you know what, why not? Something fun, nice, and new. So there you go. So he's doing that. Shane, what else have you been up to?
What I might do next, since we kind of finished talking about Paul McCartney, we'll go on to a story about one of his old bandmates.
Yeah.
Hackers break into Ringo Starr's Twitter account with scary, simple methods. Essentially, basically what's happened is
Give
Starr's
us your phone,
account,
you bastard.
Starr's account was compromised by a hacker operating under the username of AF or AF. The hacker says he gained access to an email account associated with Doug Brash, Senior Director of Digital Marketing at Universal Music Group, who managed Starr's Twitter account. Using publicly available information, the hacker was able to reset the password on Brash's accounts and gain access to the Twitter accounts under the control via the me.com password reset function. So essentially he found out that he had a me.com, found out his email address, and then just went through the motions of resetting it kind of the normal way, using information that he essentially Googled about the guy and then break into the account. After accessing Brash's email account, the hacker simply reset Starr's Twitter account password, changed email associated with the account, and started tweeting away.
But how hard is it to bust someone's password? I'd never know where to start. Like, if I wanted to get into yours, where would you start? Like, because...
Well, he didn't have to know the password. All he needed to do was know the address, know that it was a me.com account, know enough information. Like, apparently the questions that were asked were things like, what his nephew's name was and all that kind of stuff, which, because this guy was famous, all was publicly available.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, even your first dog's probably on the internet somewhere. Yeah, okay. Now, I think, Eric, I looked at your stories. You were pretty much done, I think. Those were just your big rants.
I had the Apple one. I dissected the Apple story.
Yes, that was well done. Went right into depth there. That was a good chat. Now, quick one. Toshiba Australia has been recalling batteries, dated 11th of February.
That's what Will just talked about earlier.
Oh, the Toshiba ones?
Yeah, that was he went there initially because the battery was rubbish.
Oh, that was on his own computer.
Yeah, that was 5 months ago.
Was that a Toshiba?
And now they're recalling them. He said he couldn't remember if it was a Toshiba or a Compact.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, there you go. He should be still on the show. It involves 54 models sold nationally at stores Harvey Norman, The Good Guys,
there you go.
JB Hi-Fi from 1st of June 2011 till September 30, 2015. If the defect occurs...
Should have waited for the recall. His warranty would have been in place.
If the defect occurs, there's a risk of fire or burn hazard. Yeah.
That's probably why they've had to replace every other component.
Yeah, I reckon.
The company's offering free replacement packs to consumers with defective batteries. And also Panasonic had a bit of an issue last week. Had to have a bit of a dirty little recall. And
does Panasonic make laptops?
Yeah. They make the tough books.
Panasonic laptops.
Westtrack were buying them to send out to site and stuff because they make the tough book ones, the ones that are kind of covered in rubber and ones.
Yeah, like the Telstra guys have got those as well.
Yeah.
Now, talking about Telstra service and all that sort of stuff, have a go at Kogan's latest mobile deal, $9, unlimited.
Yeah, what's he on?
Coke.
Is he Telstra? What is he?
He's Vodafone now, I think.
Is he on Vodafone now?
The Kogan 3XL plan now offers up to 30 days of unlimited standard calls and texts across Australia and 3 gig of data for $8.95. The same plan previously offered for $29.90.
3G. I just looked it up. It's Vodafone 3G.
Yeah. Well, what do you want for $10? That'd
well,
do.
Exactly.
That'd do. Now, the 5XL plan comes 30 days unlimited standard national calls and texts and 5 gig of data for $10.95. Previously $36.90. Now, this is not going to last forever, which all you think it would by reading the way the story was written, but no, it's going to expire 31st of March. So you've got a month. He's only doing it for a month.
Well, you've got a month and a half.
Yeah, so you want a cheap phone, you want a burner, Go and get one of those.
Oh,
ones.
yeah. Burner. If you want to commit a crime, go to Kogan's.
Yeah, get a burner. All right. Oh, that was it saying that. Better Call Saul's come back on the TV. That's a good show.
Haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a follow up from that
Never
Breaking Bad.
Never watched it.
Yeah, it's good. It's not bad. Look, that might be actually another recall. Apple will swap out a limited number of USB cables sold with MacBook laptops from June 2015 after discovering a fault. One of yours, Eric?
Let me think. 2015 could well be.
Well, you better go and have a bit of a poke around and...
I'll have to work out how old my laptop is.
Affected cables connected to a wall power adapter fail to properly charge the MacBook battery. MacBook owners worldwide, including Australia, who provided a valid mailing address when they registered. Did you register? You would have.
I always register, yeah.
Yeah, so if you provided a valid mailing address when you registered, their products will receive a new cable by the end of this month. Just automatically. How's that?
Really?
Might turn up to your old
house. I
house.
bet you that's rubbish. I bet you I don't get anything. We'll see. I'm just checking it now.
Yeah. Okay, so others who are eligible for the new USB-C cables are advised to make an appointment and, go through the bells and chains and whatever. Customers who have already paid for a replacement cable because yours is broken, and you went, no, and you begrudgingly went down to Apple and bought an overpriced cable, well, they will give you a refund if in such you were an affected cable holder. So there you go. All right. I think we might have got through them. How's yours? You got one more, Shane?
I got one more, yep. Just a quick
Okay.
one. Do you want me to run through it?
Why not?
All right. Streaming service JB Hi-Fi Now is to shut down. Retailer JB Hi-Fi
Surprise.
music streaming service JB Hi-Fi Now will be shut down on the 17th of March 2016 after 4 years of operation.
And
the
4
service
people.
had 12,000 subscribers across the country.
How many?
What were you going to say? 12,000.
12,000?
Yeah.
Why would it?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's got a few expenses.
Yeah. Anyone that has a Now gift card can redeem the full value on in-store purchases instead, which I think is also another bit of a bloody raw as far as gift cards go, where you have to actually, if you kind of swap it over or whatever, or even when you go back and you take something back and you say, no, I don't want it, they then give you some sort of thing where you have to buy whatever at that store. They don't just give you straight cash anymore.
No, I don't like that.
No.
If you pay cash, you should get cash.
Yeah, exactly. It goes on to say that a spokesperson, I think it might have even been the CEO for JB Hi-Fi, said, "We remain passionate about music and will continue to offer Australia's largest range of old technology in the form of CDs and vinyl through our 180 stores nationally and via our on-site." I mean, who buy? I guess the real kind of hardcore audio files would still want to buy vinyl.
Yeah,
coming
vinyl's making
back.
a bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
If you can get through the hipster beards and the tattoos and the nose rings, yeah, sure.
You love it down there. How many times have you been into JB Hi-Fi?
Oh, every time I'm at a shopping centre, I'll go in there at least once
Yeah.
to have a look. Oh, it might be a DVD here, or the kids will have a look at some music, or see if there's something they're going to buy for the Xbox. And it's like I'm in Hipsterville.
So they're all all the JBs now. Are they all doing like white goods? Are they doing white goods down your joint now? They're doing.
I haven't seen any.
they're
Haven't
all,
seen any washing machines next to the DVD player.
yeah, no, they've all changed up here. They're all fridges, washing machine, irons.
Oh, really? So they're going to the full department store.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's the JB Hi-Fi Home or something.
How do you feel like a nose ring guy selling you a washing machine?
Yeah.
They've either started to buy Dick Smith's old stock, or they've gone and bought Masters' old stock. I think probably Masters, because they were selling washing machines and whatnot.
Oh, were they as well? I've never ever been to a Masters. Ever.
Well, that's probably going broke.
Yeah, we actually had one down here in Mandurah. We've only had ours for about 6, maybe 12 months, and now there's even stores over here that are kind of half built, and now they don't really know what they're going to do with them. I think Audi will probably just take them over and convert them into Audi stores.
Bunnings will move in.
Yeah,
potentially.
Audi's
But
good.
the other thing that I wanted to kind of touch on with this JB Hi-Fi story before we moved on was Users who wish to export a list of their playlists can do so by just following the instructions. That doesn't mean you actually get the songs; you just get the list of songs.
Oh, it's handy.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking it's a streaming service. You don't actually own the songs. How's this going to work? But then they made a point of saying, no, you only get a list of the songs. You don't actually get the songs.
Yeah.
And JB Hi-Fi
that?
well, if you've got like 600 or 6,000 songs in your playlist, it's easier than writing them down, I suppose.
You want to start punching them into Spotify, don't you?
Yeah.
So,
well, that'd be interesting to see whether you can export it into Spotify or one of the other services. That'd be good if you could.
There's no import, though. I've never seen an import in Spotify.
Yeah, but just to finish it off, JB Hi-Fi now is the latest service to shut down, with Deezer, which I've never heard of, RDO, and Telstra's MOG services all closing in recent months.
What about that one Channel 9 bangs on about?
It starts with G. Yeah,
Groffle. Blech. Well, how can that keep going? Channel 9's bloody. Let me have a look. Channel. Hang on.
Yeah, they do it in conjunction with The Voice usually.
Yeah. Hang on. I'll punch it in. I'll punch it into the Google. Google's pretty smart, isn't it? Channel 9 music. Television, New Horizons. Guide me through music. No. I know people are out there probably just screaming it at me, but it's.
Are we live streaming? Might be in the chat.
No. Oh, look. I think there was no audio in the stream. Someone said, so I stopped it. Sorry, livers. But I've got to get that. I'm not sure. I thought I'd done it, but it seems I can't really test it until we get live. Australia. Oh, I just nearly had it on the tip of my tongue, but anyway, I can't be bothered. Voice Australia Music sponsor. Sponsors. Gervia. Gervia.
Oh, Gerber. Yeah, that was the sponsor for the Voice.
Yeah.
That show, The Voice.
Hello.
I wonder if that's still going. Oh,
hello.
Will. Oh, he's back in. And we have a special guest. There he is. Hello.
A couple of minutes of quiet before he's about to crack it. But,
he is tired.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can see he's tired. His arms are starting to go up.
Yeah.
tired, he's hungry, and he wants a bath. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Good on you, little Cameron. Good stuff. Hello. We saw you when you were 1 minute old.
Yeah, about 12 hours.
Yeah, that's right. Hey,
He's a bit bigger now.
He is, isn't he? Jeez. Yeah, he looks pretty healthy. He's
He's
good.
3.5 months.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
All right,
that's good
I gotta
stuff.
go, but-
all right. Cheers, Will.
See you guys.
See ya.
See you,
Bye.
mate.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, so Gervia. All right, is that still going around? Let's now that we know what it is, let's see if we can search for it. Gervia.
I've never heard of it until The Voice.
No, neither did I. I wonder if it's still going. Here it is. Access free music. Gervia.
Gavira or something.
Oh, it's got a nice little circle spinning.
Looks like an Apple website.
Free access to the most popular music. Gervia gives you free access to the most popular local and international music. We make it easy to discover, share, and manage the music you love legally and for free. Okay. Download
with
it up.
ads.
Start a race. Do you have ads?
Gotta log in and
Unless
all
you want
this.
to pay.
Yeah, right. I wonder what their list is like. Oh God, got to do all this, have I?
They've got platinum and they've got normal. Platinum, no ads, obviously.
Let's have a look. I've just signed up, so I'll have a look and see what happens. We'll pick a song. I do this when people come around. They go, "Oh, Spotify, what's that?" I go, "Oh, you watch how good
What's
this is."
that? Who asked? Who asked? What's that?
Oh, some of my friends.
What are they? 80?
You're saying the older age bracket.
No. Look, there's people out there that just aren't, whatever.
Wouldn't give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, just still stuck on tapes. Now search. Let's try it.
Shoot to Thrill. AC/DC.
That might not be there. They're pretty hard.
Let's see.
They're pretty hard to get because there's a ringtone. Shoot to Thrill.
Weren't they even
That's
latecomers
albums.
to iTunes?
Yeah, they've just
Yeah.
released their iTunes. Yeah.
Well, is that an album? The name of the album?
No, that's the name of the song. Shoot to Thrill.
Tracks. Well, it doesn't really say. It doesn't look like no AC/DC cover. Shoot the Thrill, Hell is for Children, Gold Dust Woman. That's from Hale. Give it someone else, not Ace.
It could have been an album name as well. I don't know.
Let's try.
See if any Kanye West songs are on there.
I can't even spell that idiot's name.
I don't want to listen to him. He's a moron.
Tom Jones. Here we go. Let's see. Do you get the whole song? Oh, here comes the takedown.
It's not unusual.
He's in the country at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, pus quality. All right. Okay. Oh, stop it.
No, you can't get off it now.
Oh, that's right. Stop it.
You're going to have to get out of the browser.
Every time I... It's ridiculous. I push stop and it just keeps playing.
Exit the browser.
There we go. They got it. All right.
What's wrong with those people?
I don't know. What Gervia. All right. So that's good. We saw Will's baby. We saw Cameron. We saw the whole bit. Box and dice. All right. Yes. So if you want to join us next week, you may just download it through iTunes. Don't forget the AussieTechRadio.com. Your easiest way to get it is on TuneIn Radio. Easiest way. Okay, TuneIn Radio, and it's got heaps of other shows. Tech Webcast. It's got look. There's another. I said last week. There's one by a guy called Des. Interviews just business people from Australia and around the world. He's a big LinkedIn guru, so he gets some interesting talks on there. So that's good. That's a good listen, and heaps of other shows. So we'll see you next week, Eric.
Yes, indeed.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, barring accidents. And Shane, we'll see you too.
Yeah, just on the radio thing, it might actually be worth a listen on for the last week's Tech Webcast because I had Robert Scoble as a special guest, and
he did.
He goes into a new company that's released a product, and this new company, there's another new company that hasn't even released a product, and they got like $1.3 billion in kind of venture capital and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it'd be worth a listen, I reckon.
Cool. Yes, but I think that's not on. You'll have to go and download that one because that was last week on the radio last week. Each week the shows change. Every Friday, the most recent week's episode of that particular show is up. So if you've missed one, like you would have missed on the radio now, you've missed the Robert Scoble interview with Brad and the boys, so you'll have to go to the website, and I just happen to know that one. It's techwebcast.info, and you'll get that one. Download it, subscribe to it if you like it. All right, so we'll see Shane next week. How is that leg going, Shane? Getting better?
No, I'm still attached. That's a good sign.
That's good. Good.
No, it's I've got a they've given me like I've got a couple of kind of wounds on my leg, on the same leg.
They're giving you a peg.
Like a cushion to sit on, which is why I'm probably a couple of inches higher.
Oh, a donut.
Plus my no, it's just it's like a wheelchair cushion kind of thing. I can't really see how it's going to make any difference because it's still got a fair amount of resistance. Right. And I mean, because I've used a wheelchair and I've got a wheelchair cushion that's more squishy than this thing. But I'm not going to argue with kind of a nurse and all that kind of stuff. But plus also my therapist thinks it's a good thing for me to sit a bit higher and good for my self-esteem as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I agree. Good for your posture, good for your self-esteem.
All right. Good stuff. Sounds good. We're on the right track. All right. Hope you are on the right track as well. So we'll see you next week. You got anything to say? Anything good, tell me. Anything bad, tell Eric. He's the enforcer around here. So
I can deal with anything.
Until next time you listen to us, which I hope is next week. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Have a good week.
Yeah.
Aussie Tech Ed is produced by The Secret Hub and recorded on the Gold Coast, Australia. Please visit our website and take part in our discussions forums at www.aussieteched.com. Views expressed in the preceding audio do not necessarily represent those of Aussie Tech Ed or The Secret Hub. Thank you for downloading, and we'll see you next episode. Bye for now.